scroll, like, scroll, like, scroll, like. Oh, hey, welcome back. Cheryl Pelgizzo here. Just reminding you to please subscribe to the channel. You already have the phone in your hand. You're looking at me, so please hit the subscribe button and subscribe. Must obey. Mesmerized by Jizzo and his Aleister Crowley shit. Yes, please subscribe to the channel, and here we go. It was 2 a.m., and I was returning to my hotel room at the Orleans Casino in Las Vegas. I was tired, a bit buzzed. I had just done a show at the big room at Boulder Station with Adler's Appetite. So I entered the casino, and as I walked to the elevator, I saw a small cover band setting up. It was 2 a.m., and they were just setting up, which meant that they were just starting at 2 in the morning. 4 sets of cover tunes until dawn. Wow, I guess even musicians have a graveyard shift. So I walked by and I thought, fuck, this has got to be the absolute worst rock bottom gig ever. What I really thought was, if there was a hell, this would be it. This would be me in hell, pouring some sugar on myself for all eternity every night at 3 a.m. to no one. The casino dregs. The blasted old drunk in the corner, the withered old barfly, Rufus from bum fights, the hooker, the meth head who can't sleep, the degenerate gambler pulling that accursed slot machine handle over and over and over, a drink in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and that cigarette with the 2-inch ash that never falls, it just hangs there forever. This band, these poor guys, no one cares about them. They're background music, man. They're just a human jukebox. Ghosts, apparitions, meaningless, dead inside. I walked by, and one of them caught my eye, the guitar player. He saw me in my gig clothes, and he quickly looked away. Embarrassed, I guess. I guess I would be embarrassed if I were him. I looked like I had just played a real gig, and here he was, stuck in the Phantom Zone, playing Sweet Home Alabama for the lecherous few. Anyway, that was over 20 years ago, and my perception of the music business has changed quite a bit. I appreciate things a bit more. I still wouldn't want to be one of those guys, but I don't shit on what they do. They have to pay rent just like I do. They're working and they're getting paid to play music. It may not be what I want to do, but it's still playing music and getting paid. And that's something. There's many levels to playing music. There's club bands. There's bands like us who have had some hits back in the day. You see, that's where most of my friends are now. Robbie Crane plays in Warrant. Carrie Kelly plays in Night Ranger. See, we've all known each other forever, and we're cut from the same cloth. We're hustlers, go-getters, always working, always looking for new opportunities. What people call hired guns. Now, some people think that's a dirty word, but they're not really in the business, so they don't really know. You see, none of us were there in our respective bands' heyday. When Quiet Riot was huge, I was still a young kid trying to get into the Rainbow for free. But we're all here now, and we're all making a living. A good living. Warrant, Great White, Slaughter, even Quiet Riot. If I told you what these bands make per gig, what they charge per show, you wouldn't believe it. You'd think I was bullshitting you. I can remember back in 2005 on the Rock Never Stops tour when I was in Rat. Both Rat and Quiet Riot at the time each made $100 a night. Now that's nothing now. Now it's much more. So it stands to reason that because bands in 2024 make more money, that we, the musicians, make more money. And we'll just leave it at that. Smaller bands make less, and bigger bands make more. Journey, those guys probably make a lot. Def Leppard, oh yeah, they do okay. All the way down to LA Guns and Faster Pussycat and the Bullet Boys, it doesn't matter. We all get paid. Even the anonymous openers, they get paid too. Maybe not a lot, but something. They get paid for playing music. We're all working musicians. Cover bands get paid too. The guys in Hairball, they're a good example of someone turning a good idea into huge dividends. There's cover bands in every town in America. Every bar, every county fair, even some bowling alleys have a little stage set up in the corner and some dudes cranking up their little twin reverb amps and playing music. In Europe and Australia, there's probably 1 million cover bands in Malaysia singing Don't Stop Believing in broken English. There's cover bands on cruise ships. If you go to Belize on your vacation, no doubt there's a cover band in your hotel playing Working for the Weekend or Sister Christian. There's 1 million cover bands in Las Vegas. They're like locusts, all working, all getting paid. It may not be much, but it's something. They're musicians, and they should all be respected for being musicians and still playing music in this creepy era where AI can just imitate real humans. Who wants to hear a computer sing or write a song? Who wants to hear that? Who needs that? You see, over the years, I've developed a new respect for all musicians wherever they are in the food chain. The motherfuckers are working, and I love them for it. They haven't given up. They haven't stopped when it's so easy to stop. You see, it's hard sometimes to keep the fire burning, making new music in this new era. Watching people kowtow to Spotify like that's going to help your career. 1 million streams pays what? $1,000? Is that right? Could that really be right? It's frightening to think about. Original music, all that work, creating it, recording it, mixing it, delivering that new song, all being reduced to a few thousandths of a decimal point per play. Think about that. Think about that and then go put out a CD. It takes balls to do that. It's not easy to do what we do. I can say this from personal experience, having done it for the last 35 years. 35 years? Huh. Wow, good for me. That's over a third of a century playing gigs, standing on some stage with a spotlight in my face, belting out the hits. Sometimes my songs, sometimes other people's songs. Substitute singer, hired gun, call it what you want, I don't care. People talk a lot of shit on the internet. You're not Quiet Riot, you're not Foreigner, you're not a real Bullet Boy. Well, I guess it depends on what you call real. If it's the legacy and the music performed by capable professional musicians, then fuck, I think it's real. Most of the time, these bands are made up of guys from other notable bands. Johnny Kelly from Type O Negative, me from Love Hate. We all had our time in the sun, but that was then, and here we are now. I was at a meet and greet the other night, and some fan came up to me at the merch table with a Wasted in America CD and an October Rust CD. Now, that was nice, and it was telling. Most fans appreciate what we do, and I always hear from them, thanks for keeping the music alive. I hear that a lot, actually. There's an old saying, you should do it for the fans. You need to play it for the fans. We are fulfilling that pledge, but of course, we're also doing it for ourselves. Even Def Leppard have their bills to pay. They got to buy groceries just like the rest of us. Do Def Leppard shop at M&S? I'd like to think so. I'd like to see Joe Elliott walking out with a bag of dark chocolate digestives. It would make me smile. We're all working musicians, all of us. Motley Crue, LA Guns. We're all playing music and we're all getting paid. From the very bottom of the food chain to the very top. From Axl Rose to Mr. Nobody playing casinos at 3 a.m. We're all the same in a way, all doing the same thing. Casino guy finishes his night at 6 a.m. Casino's empty. He packs up his little amp and he drives home. Maybe he stops at McDonald's for breakfast. He comes back to his house or his apartment, checks his email, sits there for a minute. Then he's got to go to bed to wake up at 2 p.m. to do it all over again the next night. See, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have his life, but I don't shit on it either. Not like I would have done in the past. He's working, just like me. He's working. He's not a mooch. He's not some wannabe leeching off some girl that does have a job, filling her head with all the horrible bullshit talk that I've heard for centuries. You know, the talk of the major tours and the endless possibilities, all those wonderful things that never ever seem to happen. Meanwhile, she's paying the rent and buying your dinner, and you're staying home in your little studio pretending you have a career on some Pro Tools setup that she probably bought you. The irony of it all. These men have no honor. They posture and they pose, but you know what? They don't pull their own weight, which doesn't make them real men in my eyes. Real men pull their own weight. You gotta pay the rent. You gotta pay the rent. And stay true to the rock gods. Anyway, that ends my current take on the world and the current situation. I hope you enjoyed it. Joe Palgizzo, rockin' and rollin'. We'll see you next time.